Hello, lovely humans, and welcome back to my channel. If you are watching this on Wedding Chicks or over on Facebook, thank you so much for stopping by. Today, I am joined by the beautiful Lauren Lebouef, and congratulations, by the way. Somebody just recently got engaged.
I do have a ring on now. I'm not trying to show it off or anything.
No, but when you first get engaged, it's just like, I can't help it.
I know.
You just want to point to everything.
You girls out there know what we're talking about.
I actually texted her after she got engaged, and I was like, are you doing that thing? Are you doing that thing with your ring on top of the steering wheel, and like it creates a disco ball on the ceiling? And she's like, no, I haven't driven yet. Like, oh, okay. Just
I had
wait.
no idea what she was talking about. I'm like, that's what she was talking about when the light hits it at the right time.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta try it.
It's a little disco ball on your ceiling.
So
like
cute.
you're convinced you're gonna crash, but like you kind of don't care. Lauren's actually a fellow YouTuber, and why don't you tell them a little bit about you?
I do kind of a lot of things over on my Instagram, kind of modeling, but also a version of my life and photos from my life, because I love to bring in those aspects, but also a few shoots that I've done with friends or professional photographers. And I love the aspect of YouTube, because then you kind of get the video behind the picture type things, like behind the scenes, but also a part of my life. So I recently did just get engaged, so we've got our proposal video up there, but then it's like things that I love, like makeup and hair, so it's very random things, but that's kind of who I am, I guess.
And I think that's the nice part about having a YouTube channel, is just basically sharing bits of your life with people.
So true.
Also, if you have not seen their engagement video, her fiance put together a music video and proposed to her during the music video shoot. That's a whole other level.
Like, that's the cool thing. I'm gonna like cherish that video forever. So I'm like, thank you for doing a video.
And so he was smart, because he got you dressed up.
Exactly.
And he got you wearing something nice, and your hair was done.
I was like, oh, that's why he was asking me about what outfits I'm gonna wear to the music video, because normally he's a guy and doesn't care. It worked out.
So guys, if you're watching this and you're planning an engagement, make sure she looks nice, and it doesn't hurt to have a photographer there, or a videographer,
either one,
or make it a music video. But I invited Lauren here today because she was actually recently a bridesmaid, and now becoming a bride and realizing all of the activities that go into that. One thing that you guys have asked for quite a bit is a bridesmaid video. What are they supposed to do? When are they supposed to do it? How are they supposed to do it? How much money should you anticipate actually spending on this event? Secret? Quite a bit.
I learned it the hard way, but we're here to help you guys out, hopefully.
Yeah. So we actually put together kind of 3 separate categories of bridesmaid things. Things? Because they're not duties?
Yeah, what would we call them?
Duties.
Yeah.
We have events that you need to attend or help host, things that you need to buy or pay for, and resources that you should be going to. So without further ado, let's jump right on in. Events that you should attend or help put on would be an engagement party. Some people have them, some people don't. Did you guys have an engagement party?
We did. It was just the night of the engagement or proposal day, so it wasn't too much of any of my bridesmaids' duties to like be there or let alone help set up. Do keep that in mind. It might not be like the biggest thing, but
yeah, that's like a maybe.
Yeah.
But if you have the opportunity to help out, I'm sure the groom would very much appreciate it. Dress shopping. Being available to go dress shopping is always a lot of fun. Not only for bridesmaid dresses, but for when the bride tries on her dress as well.
Yeah. I feel like it's really important for the bride to have you there as well, even if it's kind of a far place to get to, but I think they're going to really remember that. Like, maybe it's the first time they've ever even tried on a dress, and like, my best friend gets to be here with me, and probably her mom, and, you know, pop some champagne or something and have fun with that.
Free champagne. So like, if nothing else, just go and be super affirming and be like, you look radiant, you look beautiful, you look fetch, and then sip champagne the whole time.
There you go.
Next up would be bridal shower. Maid of honors are typically expected to help put this on. So if you are a maid of honor, your duties are obviously slightly different than the regular average bridesmaid, but those can also be put on by moms, aunts. But if you are a bridesmaid, you are expected to pitch in some way, whether to bring things, help set up, help tear down. Be prepared to work that one as well.
And then the next one, it would definitely be Bachelorette Weekend. I know this is like talked up so much, and it kind of can seem overwhelming from like especially the maid of honor standpoint, which I was, but just really keeping an open mind of what your friend really likes, because I knew mine doesn't love a weekend in Vegas and craziness, but maybe your friend does. Yeah. You know, when you're going into planning that weekend, you really want to consider her because it is her weekend. So despite what you want to do as a bridesmaid, really think of her, I guess.
Bachelorette, I think, is probably one of the hardest weekends to plan because so many people have opinions, and
Yes.
so many times they get so excited by their own opinions that it can be really hard to get everybody to converge together on one solid idea. So I think what you said, and just like sticking true to what you know the bride wants out of the weekend, is the most important part. Because at the end of the day, she's the one that you want to see happy.
Exactly.
And then the last activity outside of the wedding that you will be expected to be a part of is the rehearsal and the rehearsal dinner. Rehearsal is where you go and practice walking in a straight line and not tripping, which is pretty important. Yeah. And the rehearsal dinner is the dinner that happens after the rehearsal, for those of you who didn't put those dots together. And if you are the maid of honor, sometimes you are expected to give a speech. Did you do one at the rehearsal dinner?
I actually did, and
Yeah?
I kind of like, it was actually a little bit good to get those nerves out and like really visualize, because I actually had an entire speech for the actual wedding day, but this was a time where I'm like, okay, I'll just get up there, kind of introduce myself, but talk a bit about her, so it was kind of a warm-up. But you, of course, don't have to do both, but it was just nice.
We've already talked about the events that you should be expected to help host or attend, and the next category is things that you should that you need to buy or that you need to pay for. It is no secret that being a bridesmaid or a maid of honor ain't cheap. No. It's very expensive. But keep in mind, as best you can, that the couple that has invited you to be a part of their wedding day is probably spending 10 times the amount you are, 20 times the amount you are. I would do your best to try to keep the financial conversations to a minimum. Because that, I know for me, I was really nervous about that with my bridesmaids, as I never wanted them to feel compelled to spend a lot of money, and I didn't want them to feel like they had to shell out a bunch of dough for our wedding day, and that made me sad thinking about that. So if anyone would have talked to me about it, I would have felt instantaneously sick. You know what I mean? So as a bridesmaid, even if you are going through some financial struggles, or you do find yourself in a place where you can't afford all those things, be clear, be upfront, but try to share that with anyone but the bride.
I feel like, it helps knowing mentally going into it that this is going to be a thing that you're going to spend money on. So just, I guess, knowing that from this video, keeping that in mind.
The things that you will be expected to pay for would be your dress and any accessories that come along with it.
And that also goes along with hair and makeup, because sometimes people don't really realize that maybe the bride won't be actually paying for your makeup or your hair to be done. So just know that ahead of time, and if you're comfortable with doing your own hair and makeup, that would save you money.
Gifts.
Big one.
This is a big one. You should expect to get about 3 gifts. Now, again, if you're not in a financial state where you can buy both the dress and a bunch of gifts, try to do something heartfelt, thoughtful, a nice, something handmade, a good note. But you would need one for the bridal shower, bachelorette.
Probably, bridal shower, bachelorette, most likely, if they want to do kind of a fun lingerie gifting. And of course the wedding day, so it does add up.
If I'm being totally honest, I don't think when I've been in weddings that I've done 3 gifts. I don't
remember
if I've ever done that. If you can't afford something, you can't afford it. Just the general rule of thumb is that you should do about 3 gifts, unless you're like me. And maybe give one.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. And then paying for the Bachelorette Weekend. This is probably the most expensive chunk. Because you guys just went out to Palm Springs for that bachelorette party.
That was definitely kind of an eye-opener, because I planned a lot of the weekend, so I had a lot of the girls just go ahead and Venmo me the money for our Airbnb, and I thought I was pretty set there, but I think a lot of times we forget about the food that we need to be eating that weekend, and drinks, of course. So it was nice that a lot of them did bring like champagne or drinks to the room that, went up with them on our drive. But then, you think about going out to dinner that night that you get there, maybe you need snacks by the pool, and it did add up, and a lot of the girls did help out, but I was definitely kind of like not expecting to spend that much. So it's a good thing to think about.
That can get so convoluted, trying to figure out like, okay, figuring out things as you go along instead of, because you don't want the bride to pay for anything.
Right.
One of the points of the weekend is to basically shower her in a bunch of fun and making sure that you guys have great food, great drinks if that's something you guys are interested in, but making sure she has a great time. And catching wind of financial arguments or financial stressors is definitely not going to add to her having a great time. You also need to be really honest and say, okay, how about we have 5 meals while we're here? Each of us will cover our own meals.
Right.
And then we'll take turns covering hers. So being really clear.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Good.
being really clear up front so it doesn't get all mixed up. So each of you can take ownership for one specific payment, and then you're not worried about splitting a bill.
Right.
Or wait, I only got a salad, you got a 4-course meal.
Yeah.
So it's not just lodging, but it's food and travel while you're there. So that could be Uber rides from one location to the next. That could be gas for
Yes.
one person that's driving everyone around, that's getting there, that's getting home. All of those things should be taken into account. Ooh, and then the last category is
One of my
resources, which I feel like you probably have a ton of them because you just got done doing all of
It
it.
was actually like really fun to do, and one of our things that we want to talk about is definitely Google Drive. It really helped us because that way anybody can access it that you share it to. So I shared it to the bride and then a few of the other bridesmaids and actually her mom, because then she could like help us out with other things that we might need or anything like that. So I actually kind of created an itinerary, which you don't really have to do, but I was like, this is where we're going and this is where we're staying.
Yeah.
And this is how much the Airbnb is per night. So girls could get a visual like, oh, that's why I'm spending this amount of money, because it's right there and you can see it. We also really love Etsy because we had these really cute shirts that said, hers said bride, and then mine said babe of honor, and then the bridesmaids said bride's babe. So it was like that cute little touch, and we got to
That's
wear
really
them to
cute.
brunch. So if you guys wanted to do personalized shirts, definitely check out Etsy. They have really cute stuff.
Great.
Champagne glasses with your name on it.
And it all fits like a color theme.
yeah,
Which is
exactly.
great, and I love when things fit a theme.
Mhm.
I love carrying the theme, especially on events like that. And, speaking of which,
Yeah.
you actually used a company
Yes.
for this particular one. Is it
Yeah.
Stag Hen?
Yeah, you guys gotta check them out if you're a bridesmaid or even a bride. It's called Stag Hen, like she said. They have a website. They even have a blog, so you can actually see the girls wearing the
Cute.
t-shirts in person, and they have amazing decorations. They have a decoration theme, like for everything you can think of, like so cute, like a desert theme and a girls' night out, so a girly one, and different things like that. So definitely check it out.
So they're kind of like a one-stop shop for decor items.
Totally, yeah.
And then the last resource,
Mhm.
perhaps the best resource,
Pinterest.
Yes! Because the bride can share her ideas with you,
Mhm.
and you can share your ideas with all of the other bridesmaids. You can also keep words secret.
Yes, I love
So
that
the
part.
bride never has to know about the weekend that you're planning if you want it all to be surprise.
Yeah.
I think that's what my bridesmaids did because I had no idea what we were doing.
If you want an idea for a mimosa bar at the bridal shower, you can just type that in and pin
Yeah.
it.
Basically, the theme of what we're like the resources here are how can you share and where can you buy cute stuff.
Exactly.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yep.
We nailed it. We didn't
Yeah.
have to redo any of that.
Yay!
So that's all we have for today, folks. Thank you so much for stopping by. As always, a huge shout out to my gal pals over at Wedding Chicks for hosting this video. And Lauren, thank you for coming all the way over here.
Thanks for having me.
She drove all the way to my house just so we could hang out.
I just had to.
And talk about all the wedding stuff. And if you haven't done so already, check out her channel. She is putting out a bunch of content about being engaged and the very first steps that I think a lot of you are going to find relatable because you're going to want someone to sit in the mess with you. And the
Yes.
excitement.
And we're going to be doing a video on my channel, so you can check that out.
And until next week,
Bye,
bye guys.
I love
All right,
that.
my face already hurts. Pew
I'm
pew.
smelling too much.
Full Lauren Lebouef.
Hi, guys.
There's a fly on the camera.
Uh-oh.
You keep buzzing, bro. You. I just named the fly. This is great. We're gonna have so many bloopers.
Yes.
Nailed it. My cheeks legitimately.
Well, yeah.
hurt.